Firefox just won't load shit, you know. Good morning, or good day rather. It's half past noon. So Anchor's Steamer Neptune. Here we are, yeah. We're awesome. And very Nordic. Very Nordic name. Very Nordic sounding. Like, what is cool and kind of Nordic? Well, there are like these women angels and a big dog. I'll name myself after that. Like big dogs. Big dogs and women. That's a name after my mind, I guess. I can't get my Firefox is just non-responsive, which is great. It's wonderful. Who was the first chatter? Shut mouth, Acres. Don't start that shit. Oops, something went wrong. Yeah, I figured, Spotify. I figured when you weren't loading shit. I figured something might have gone wrong. Piece of shit. Also the fact that now the text to speech should be up and running. That loaded, which is nice. It says I'm offline, but that's not okay. It's okay. Fuck Firefox. Jesus fuck it. Just non-response. I don't know why, but I don't know if it's cold. I don't know what it is, but the lab just goes. Everything is wrong and websites won't load and shit is shit and fucking hell. Like why? Like why internet so slow? I don't know. Hello, Tonal Biscuit. And Vikings? Yes, sure you do. Sure you like Vikings. Hello, smartass. How are you feeling this morning? Well, it is half past noon, so I'm no longer morning. Can you hear me now? No, there's no. The Firefox is fucking frozen, dudes. Non-responsive. It's not doing shit. I'm gonna close this down. I'm just gonna close down Firefox, reboot it. All right. Let's sort that out. Let's open that up again. Let's see how long that takes to open up. It's gonna be. I need to fix my car. This is a mechanic stream today. For those who don't know, I know it looks like we're in a blacksmith shop, but this is an auto shop now because I need to fix my car. This is one of those few rare instances where having a blacksmith shop is actually legitimately practical. Because my car is fucked and I need to make a piece for it that we lost. When I say we, I say my dad, because my dad used to own an auto shop he just sold, but he's like into cars and stuff. So he usually fixes the things that are a little bit weird. But then a piece, I can't. Okay, here's the thing: I can't close the trunk. I drive an Opel Astra like station car for the dogs and shit, you know. And I can't close the trunk anymore. It won't close. It borked. And then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna hand it over to my dad. He's gonna fix it up. And then a piece, like he lost a piece. It disappeared, but we lost a piece, right? So I'm gonna need to make one of those. Yes, I wanna close Firefox. I fucking already started opening a new one. What are you on about? Oh no, this is not a second. This has been going on for minutes now, like 7 minutes or something like that with Firefox. Oh, you still have that food poisoning? Yeah, don't eat old food. Right, so the trunk won't close, and it's part of the mechanism and shit. And we lost a little bit of, what do we call that? A tension bar? Not a tension bar, but it's like a little bit of bar, a little bit of metal that just connects two pieces like a mechanical lever. That's gone, so I'm gonna make a new one of those. Because I don't know where the fuck it went, but it's just gone. Hello, Brad. So this is an auto shop now. It's a car mechanic stream. I never thought this day would happen or would come, but it's here now. And I am hoping that my Firefox is still fucking up. Like, it won't load shit, by the way. I shut it down, I opened it back up, and it's still just like shitting itself. So that's just, it's wonderful. Doing good. Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts. My car is fucked, and I can't get Firefox to run, and this has been going on for like 10 minutes. Have you ever made car parts before? No, I have not. If you can't tell, I'm being a little, I'm being a little bit, like, a little bit joking. All we need to do is we need to take a little piece of stainless steel and just gotta bend it a little bit. The hope is that I have a piece that's actually the correct size. No guarantee of that. But we're gonna see what we can do. Oh, I hate. I'm too old for this shit. I need to hammer hot steel. I don't need to hot steel. I will be doing the hot. They will be doing. So yeah. So fucking Spotify won't load. So what happens is you open up a new tab in Firefox. I click my bookmark for Spotify. It begins to load and then it just stops and nothing happens. I have to then Google search for fucking Spotify and click on the link to open it because it won't open directly. It's retarded. It's absolutely fucking retarded. Why is that even a thing? Like how? How is that even a thing? How does a bookmark stop loading out of nowhere? It is infuriating. Ah! It would be very steampunk. It would also just not drive at all. It would be a sculpture. It wouldn't be a real car. God damn it, Spot, piece of shit. God fucking damn it. No, they didn't. No, they didn't fucking change the web address slightly. Because if they changed the web address slightly, it would still load and then say, couldn't find the web address. It would give me a 404 error, right? It stops loading entirely. It doesn't do anything. It gives me the little spinny wheel in the tab that's like, we're loading a website. And then it goes away. Just disappears. And it's like, what? No, you didn't do anything. You didn't tell me to do anything. That's what it does. Fucking piece of shit. If I had a friend who was like that, right? If I had a friend who was like that was like, hey, can you grab that, like, spanner to keep it car related? Grab me that spanner. And they were like, yeah, sure. And then they just don't. I'd smack that friend if they did that repeatedly. That's Firefox when it tries to open Spotify. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll open it up. It's like, no. They just don't. And it fucking signed me out. Piece of shit. God damn it. I was signed in a moment ago. It was open just a moment ago, now it signed me out. Because it's just layers of shit on top of each other. That's what this is. Fuck, I hate technology. This is why I don't game anymore. Too fucking infuriating. Fuck, I need to listen. I gotta put on some Sabaton. I can't. I need something. At least the forge is hot now. There we go. Alright, oh fuck, I gotta get eat. Alright, I'm gonna start the Reddit stream as well, might as well. It's gonna run for like 3 hours anyway. got stuff going. I can't wait for things to get hot again. It's still freezing here. All of my fucking tanks are frozen over because they no longer heat up between streams. For those who don't know, gas canisters, when you run them at high pressure, freeze over because of the evaporation of the propane liquid, pulls the temperature out of the tank, and then they freeze over, and when the temperature drops, the pressure drops, and that's a problem, so they freeze over. My tanks no longer heat up in between blacksmithing sessions. I come out here, and they're all still completely frozen. How the fuck do I solve that? My fuel is freezing over, and I can't. It doesn't thaw. Look at it. This froze over Monday, and it's still frozen. Look at that ice on it. It's empty too, but for fuck's sake. Piece of shit. Fucking hell. God damn it, man. This is 5 mil, this is too much. Do I have something that's thinner? Probably not. Okay, so I need, we did a little thing. I need to make a section that looks just like this, just a bend. This length plus 10.7 centimeters with a C bend in it is what I need to make. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over here where I don't lose it, because if I lose that I'm going to cry. We had Miss Bispo's hardened hammer. We're going to grind up and polish up a little bit and handle at some point. And we have the wand that we finished yesterday. It looks like this currently. Get a hot water bottle on that thing? What? No, like literally, that's just more frozen water. It's not that's a rookie mistake, but dude, you don't take hot water and put it out in the freezing cold. It's not gonna heat up anything. We got that one finished up yesterday, and we'll be working more on the sword because murder death. So this is the sword as it's looking like. Yesterday we got the profile kind of sorted out. We got the bevel down to a thickness we wanted it, and we started. We got the tank forged out roughly, and we started fullering just down here very slightly, and we're gonna continue with that. But first, I gotta make that piece for my car. God damn it! I'm gonna pop it. I'm gonna pop everything. Good morning, Syntherius. I just need to get hammering, okay? And I'm starting with like small shit too. Fuck, I don't wanna. At least I gotta thin this down some. So I got a little bit of like regular old hammering here. Oh, that shit's broken. Hopefully I can forge this without it breaking too much. So I actually planned yesterday to have a day where I didn't have to do a lot of hammering, hard hammering. But right now I need to punch something like it owes me money. Unhinged hours, yes. Live somewhere warmer. This is the coldest winter we have had in Denmark for at least a decade. And I'm not even kidding. We usually it'll freeze during the evening, like during the night it'll freeze, and maybe for a couple of days during a winter. Like we haven't had snow since 2017, and before that it was like 2011. That was like the last time we had a snowstorm, proper snowstorm, was like 2011. So we hadn't had snow for like 3 years, and then all of a sudden this year, it is constantly frozen all day, and it's snowing all the time. Not a lot, but it's snowing all the time because obviously it's fucking frozen. it is so weird to have a proper. This is how winter was when I was a kid. I know I sound fucking old now, but this is how I remember winters being when I was cold. No, it wasn't even that cold back then. It didn't freeze. So but I remember in 2011, I think we had that snowstorm, and I went LARPing in minus 17 degrees or something like that. Although, how do you smith in summer? Wouldn't you die from the heat? No, I fucking love forging in the summer. It's sweaty as fuck, but it's just, I don't mind the heat. If this summer we had like 30 degrees Celsius, and then the shop becomes like 35, 38, that's pushing it, but I don't mind. Anyway. So it's not that big of a problem. So it's 10.7, whatever this length is. It's probably gonna be an even number once I add this to 10.7. Okay, so it's 19.7. 19.7, so that's there. That's the length we needed. Plus we need a bend on a centimeter there. And then we need a C bend, that's another 2 centimeters. That's the length we need. Probably a little bit more, a little bit less maybe. But yeah, no, I don't mind the summer heat at all. I like it. Hello SMH. Hello. Oh, you're not wearing a bubble jacket? I usually wear a tank top. This is my winter coat when I'm forging. It's so cold today that I actually chose to wear sleeves. I know, it's wild. Normally I wear a tank top in here. The problem is forging stainless. If you forge it too cold, it'll just fray right up and it'll crack up, and you don't want it. Marcus? What? Just forge new gas canisters. Yes, of course. Naturally, that's what you do. What are we making today? I'm making a little a car part because my trunk, the car of my trunk wouldn't close, and I lost a part for it. So I'm gonna make that new part. It's just a little lever we're making, and then afterwards we're moving back to working on the sword. Currently working on a Viking sword for historical European martial arts, and this is the blade thus far. I wanna get a good weight-wise. It's at about a kilo right now, a little bit less maybe. This is some superhuman stuff. No, it's just a dude in a cold blacksmith shop. An insulated jacket around your gas canisters, you could. The problem is, if it's frozen outside, it won't help them. It needs the atmosphere, like the temperature of the atmosphere. Unless, like, the only way to solve it now is to literally put heating on there. So, I think I have an electric blanket somewhere. If I can find that, that might be a solution. Electric blanket. Or did I throw that out? Because it didn't work? Can't remember. I had one, like the dogs used it for a while. How did you get started in blacksmithing? I just did it. I bought an anvil, I built a forge, and I started hammering. That's how you do it. Notice, it is so cold today, my camera hasn't even been fogging up. That's how cold it is. I think it's like I would wait till minus 5 degrees. Oh why am I thinning the entire thing down? I can just thin out the... Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, let me see what temper it is. It says AL. It can't show me the temperature. Is that no battery? Is that what that means? What? There's something wrong. I think that's an error of some sort. But it's cold, okay? It's cold. Okay, and I'm gonna turn my brain on and just thin out the 2 sections that need to be thin instead of thinning out the entire piece. Dumbass. Good morning, awkward. You just did it? Did what? Oh, we're getting started with blacksmithing, yes. Oh, it says 8L, not AL. It says AL. But if I do that at the forge, it's still... Is it because this thing is too cold? I don't know. Like, I doubt the forge is too cold. Dropped it or broken it. Shut out. Shut out. Hello, Dadsy. Yeah, I'm wearing a shirt. I usually just wear a tank top. Yeah, I did Acres. Normally it'd be fine if you answer questions and stuff. Problem is you have text to speech now, so every time you answer a question, it goes in here. So I kind of like. I probably think I'd prefer if you didn't. but it's fine if I miss a question. Just answer it. You don't have to worry about it too much. It's not a big deal. But if someone asks something and you're like, I want to sound clever, you can answer. Are there blacksmithing events like conventions or something? Yeah, there are. Not that many in Denmark. There used to be one. I never participated because they stopped doing it before I started. But it was literally called like the Metal Festival or something like that. And it was just 30 blacksmiths who would spend a week together forging and doing competitions and stuff. What are you doing? I'm making a part for my car, a little lever for the trunk. Because it won't close and I lost this part, and so I gotta make a new one. So I'm just taking a piece of stainless steel and forging that down. So that's gonna be like this. We're gonna cut that off around there. I'm gonna leave it a little long. Going on your bucket list? What is? Oh, the heavy metal festival. Well, they stopped doing it because I don't know why. Actually, there is a there is a like Danish competition like for the best blacksmith in Denmark, but there's like 4 people who participate and it's a paid entry. Like it's not a real competition where anyone who blacksmith can kind of turn up and be like, I want to compete. You have to pay to get a ticket to be able to compete. Like it's kind of silly. So there's like no one who participates, like 4 people or 5 people, and the title doesn't mean anything. I don't think there's any way to turn off the text-to-speech thing. You're all equally annoying. No, it's fine. Okay, so you need a 90-degree turn on this. Hello, Socrates. Do a flip? No. You're 12 and I really want to start, but I can't really just buy an anvil and build a forge. But if I can find an easier way, I'm allowed to do it. Well, find a piece of scrap steel or scrap mild steel from a scrapyard, junkyard. Big lump. A sledgehammer head might work, for instance. Stabilize that somewhere in a stump or somehow. That's your anvil. And the forge can just be a bonfire with an air source. So a leaf blower, a hair dryer, anything like that. A mattress pump, even like for an air mattress, can work. And that'll get the fire hot enough if you supply air to it that you can forge some stuff. It doesn't need to be really expensive or difficult. You can get very far with very little. Remember, blacksmithing has been done for over 1,000 years, so the technology is pretty simple. You just need fire and an air source. I need a tong for this. Yo, my dude, I see you streaming again. You probably don't remember me from back in the day, but especially since I changed my name from... Oh, I remember you, Eye of Sauron. Yeah, of course I do. You're old school, dude. Welcome back, man. Melanie McFly. Eye of Sauron. You used to be one of those people who would tune in like way back in the day. Way, way back. In my old apartment. I remember you. Yeah. Well, no, the blacksmithing is not older than Jesus, because remember the Iron Age? That's when people started blacksmithing. So like 400, 500, 600 BC is like the earliest we have of blacksmithing. So 500 years after God, essentially. But yeah, right now we're working on a little car part for my car because my trunk broke, and I lost a part for it. So a little lever we're making. Do we ever forge naked? No. I have not tried that yet. I have considered just wearing this though. I'm gonna need the tongs. Stop streaming because Twitch wouldn't give us a creative channel. But we got that made. I pushed for that OPCs before. Oh, so 80. Sorry. I'm pretty sure it's 80. I don't think there was any blacksmithing going on before then. I might be wrong. Well, I would still wear protective gear. That's what the apron is. The Iron Age is BC, really? I don't. I just think, okay, so there were Romans. Yeah, the Romans had fucking steel swords. What am I on about? I don't know why, but every time I think Roman, I think bronze. But I'm just mixing up my AD and BC, I think. The Sword of Jericho from 1200. Jesus Christ. Alright, alright. I don't know. I don't know blacksmithing history, okay. I'm a horrible, horrible blacksmith. Well, this is usually more historically correct than the History Channel. Yeah, we managed to push that creative thing going, get that going, which was nice, I guess, but yeah. I'll be the historian, you can be the blacksmith. Alright, alright. So, we were talking a little bit about yesterday, proper hammer technique, and I need to take a little bit step from the anvil, a little bit back from the anvil. So there's plenty of space between me and the anvil for me to swing my arm. Either way. Will you stand at the anvil? Where you're not, like you see when you see beginners, they'll be standing like this right up in front of the anvil, and I can't even forge like this. Even if I tried, it would be so bad. I stand like this. I don't know actually exactly why you stand like this to the side. It was just something I thought about yesterday. The way you approach the anvil. Out a little bit. Now I gotta do a bend, so that goes in there. Oh, but I don't know which way that's supposed to bend. Okay, so that's gonna sit like so. And that needs to go in, right? Oh, it needs to go that way. I'm just gonna draw that out, so it's gonna sit like that. How's your elbow? My elbow is doing all right. Nothing too bad about it. See here what the Reddit chat is saying. Reddit is blowing up now. But welcome to the Blacksmith Shop, everyone. We've got 2,000 people tuning in now. It's just madness. We're currently making a small little lever for my car because I lost a piece of my trunk and my trunk won't close. And then after that, we're going to be working on this sword. This is a Viking sword for historical European martial arts that we've been forging out. Got the profile roughed in. We're in the middle of forging the fuller in. That's what we'll be working on later in a moment when I've done this other little piece. So we are technically a car manufacturer right now. So that needs to. Oh, I need the. Might need to make sure that this is the correct length. It's a little bit long as it is. That's what she said. Need to stop making those jokes. How cold is it in the room? It's so cold that my infrared thermometer isn't working. Oh, it's working now. I can work it on the forge. Earlier it wouldn't work, but it's 0 degrees Celsius. So I need this to be 9.7, which is a very specific length. 9.7. It's actually very good, very nice position. Okay, so right at that point there, that's good. Just a very specific size part. I'm gonna need to bend this a little bit further down. Still too long. God damn it. But yeah, so I'm streaming to both Reddit and Twitch at the same time. So if you want to watch with a higher quality camera and all that, you can do that over at twitch.tv/MartilloWorkshop. I have a web shop where I sell the things that I make. Stuff like these Harry Potter style ones that I make, for instance. I make and sell those. Got a glass marble insert in there. This one will be available on the shop sometime during this week. So I make these kind of things. You can find that at martillo.dk. I also have Instagram and all that jazz, and you can find that all through the link tree down here in the overlay. And if you want to catch my streams, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday on both Reddit and Twitch at the same time. So you can follow my Reddit channel or my Twitch. Currently making a little lever for my car because I lost it. And that's one of the few instances where being a blacksmith has some really practical application. Because being able to make this piece to exact length. Okay, so that's about right, I think. I'm gonna do the second bend. And hopefully that'll work. Hello, Poo-Poo. Let me see here what chat is saying. Are you working in Christiania? Or I'm in Hobro, Denmark, which is the exact opposite side of the country. How much did that anvil cost? $100. It's a 120 kilo Crennan lathe. It's a model number KL70. It's made between 1930 and 1960 in England. I paid $100 for it. It was used as an ornament. It came with a cone mantle as well. This one here. Absolute steel. The only problem was that it was advertised as weighing 70 kilos, and the only help I brought was my now ex-girlfriend, and we had to carry that out of a garden that was just full of mud. I don't know how. I need to do this at the vise in order to make sure I don't mess up. Yeah. And they were in the middle of renovating the garden. That was why they were selling it. So they dug out a big ass hole on one side and then left like 20 centimeters of a footpath to walk on. And next to it was the machine that dug it. And so trying to carry a 120 kilo anvil in a complete, like, just mud on a 20 centimeter kind of footpath with a hole in the ground next to you. It took us over an hour to get that anvil out of there. Horrible. But I have quite a few anvils. I have about 10. Okay, I'm just gonna go here to the vise real quick. So excuse me, I know you guys can't see anything, but I just have to do this. So just started that bend there. The problem with doing a C bend is you don't really have any good leverage. Did you buy the anvil before you started blacksmithing? Yes, I did. I had it for about 6 months or a year before I started hammering. Yeah, who doesn't have an anvil? I have 5 student anvils, 280 kilos, no, 380 kilos. My oldest one is from 1824. My newest anvil is this one. Then I have a Italian pattern Swedish Söderfors 80 kilo as well from 1915. In cast steel, it's a very nice anvil. I had to do a repair job on that. There's a video of me doing that on YouTube. YouTube is just Martino Workshop. I need to be making more videos for that as well. So just gotta get this C bend in there, or set bend. Clean that up a little bit before we move on to working on the sword. My vocabulary, yes. God damn it, my vocabulary is so good. Does the anvil break like in Minecraft? Sometimes they do. Mine doesn't, because mine are good. Dad has the same anvil, paid 1,500 plus 500 shipping. Danish or dollars? What are we building? Right now a little lever for my car trunk because I lost it and I can't close my trunk. So we gotta make a new part. And then afterwards we're working on the Viking sword. Yeah, it's a little lever for the closed locking mechanism for the trunk. When you close the trunk, there's a little, you push in the button to release, and that kind of pulls the lever down. That lever fell off and we lost it, I don't know. So we're just making another one of those levers. Just out of a little bit of stainless steel. Hopefully I can get it to fit proper. It needs to be a very specific length, but I think we're doing all right. Okay, so we have a little bit of excess here that I need to cut off. I'm gonna do that hot with a hot cut hardy, the easy way to do it. Do blacksmiths miss the dark ages? No. I like modern plumbing and vaccines and shit. Also, I've never been in the Dark Ages, so I'm not sure why I would miss it. But I surely do not romanticize it. Why do I tap the anvil? Because I'm moving the material over here, so I just let the hammer drop to the anvil while I do that, so I don't hammer the steel. So I'm just gonna take this. Come on. There we go. So we got the extra length off of that. Just gonna grab a file to clean this up. A5 liter. Okay, the important thing here is that we have the right length on it. It needs to be 19.7 centimeters from the center of the two pieces. So there, it may be a little bit too short. That is very, very close. I think it'll be all right. I think we got it. What I want to do real quick, just gonna grab a glove. I'm just gonna file it up while we have the sword heat up. Put that sword in there. Put this in the vise. Just clean it up, and that's just to make sure that it'll go in easy. Don't take that out of context. It's just a quick cleanup. Yeah, I do need a compilation of out of context lines. When you're forging stainless in any significant amount, you gotta be aware that it's toxic when you heat it up, because there's nickel and chromium in it. The chromium is not a good metal to heat up, but a small amount like this is not a problem. Right, so that's the little part, just a little lever like this. Hopefully that'll work out. While we wait for that, these are the tongs I need for the sword. I'm gonna text my dad that I have the part, and he can come and let's see here. Alright, let's see if he joins in. Is this still hot? A little bit. Not too bad. Alright, so let me catch up with the chat here. I've been a little bit focused on getting that thing done. Let me see here, just catching up. Still got like 5,000 people on Reddit. Yeah, I volunteer at a museum as well, Hoodie, called the Old Town in Aarhus, or Den Gamle By. I volunteer there once a month on average. I got to go this summer and Christmas, but they shut down. I can still go in the shop, but it's just not very open for people. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, it's a little bit cold today, that's why I'm wearing long sleeves. Gonna switch tongues. I'm gonna go over to the fly press over here. I know it's not visually very impressive. I'm kind of hoping that I could do something to keep that. Okay, let me try and see if I can set something up for you guys, so you guys can follow along with me forging the fuller out. There we go. And the this is yeah, you can get in, but there's no, the buildings are all closed. We can still go and forge though. Alright, you guys are now sitting in the vise. There we go. That works, right? Right, so that's the start. What we're doing here is we're using the fly press. The fly press delivers a couple of tons of downward pressure, between 5 and 10, I think, on this one. When you swing that wheel, it delivers downward pressure, and we're using a fullering tool, a fullering die, to create the center fuller in the center of the sword, and that thins it out, gives it some rigidity at the same time. Museums and blacksmiths are two of my favorite words. Need to go back to Denmark. You've already been in Denmark before? Yeah, but yeah, we just got back to the project of making a Viking sword for Western historical European martial arts. It's a bit of a mouthful to say. So it's a traditional sword. It's not historical. It's not a recreation. It is authentic, however. See you later, what master? Do you also make knives and stuff? I have some unfinished knives lying around. I usually don't finish them. I just forge them out, and then I'm kind of onto forging the next thing. All right, so it's closed up. Just use the link command, please. It's so funny to me when someone posts like a full link and it just goes like the text to speech I have in my ear. It's always funny. Why am I watching this? I have no idea. Yeah, so I have to go over here for the microphone to really catch up what I'm saying. Now, I'm blacksmithing. I'm making a sword, my man. It's like watching a boomerang on Instagram. Well, primitive technology, just not so primitive. Yeah, no, we're running pretty modern stuff with a gas forge. What we're making, we're taking and we're fullering the center here. I don't know if you guys can tell. We're creating that center fuller. It's really important for lighting, like kind of making the sword lighter, but adding rigidity to it. I need to figure out how big of a groove we've got. You can touch the steel if you're quick about it. The tactile feedback is really nice. Right? Because I want to thin it out, but I don't want to thin it out too much. And I can always grab. Right now it's visually a little bit tricky for me to see what's going on. Grab a brush. I want to try and keep that fuller very clean. That can be tricky. But thus far, it seems like it's going all right. I gotta clean it up right near the roots where it starts. I want to clean that up some. Gotta get that far in and heat that up. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Okay, my dad will be here in half an hour. Good night, ask me about tentacles. So for those of you who are wondering what I do, I make all sorts of things. Last time I broadcast, we just finished up this wand here, which is a Harry Potter style wand with a Rubik's twist and a glass marble insert that gives like it's a little bit of an eye, right? I also make axes. I have a tomahawk right here. So that's a traditional style tomahawk with a friction fit handle. I make these and still I need to finish some up. I need to make more handles, but they're nice axes. This is the first axe I ever made, which I use for carving. It's an asymmetrical axe, very good for carving. Gonna run out of gas today. I know you can't see it because I'm showing the Reddit stream and not the Twitch stream. The Twitch stream has seen it. Alright, got that cleaned up, that was nice. Will you polish the sword when you're done? That sounded dirty. Oh yes. I don't think. I don't know if I'll polish it up. I'll definitely remove the forge scale and just. I'll clean it up some, but I want to kind of leave a forged finish because that just. If I can make a sword that looks good with a forged finish that shows off my control and technique as a blacksmith, really well, and that's kind of what I want to do with this. Try to repair an axe with a fire from a barbecue once. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. I got a bit of a kink in this sword right now. Just gotta take it to the anvil. I need to get that straightened out. I'll have to wait till I get the rest of the fuller done, I guess. How long have you been doing this? 2.5 years. And how can one learn this in Denmark? If you are near Hobro, I do classes and I take in students individually as well. I charge 220 an hour teaching Danish kroner. And you can take, there are classes and courses all over the country. Ever done bonfire forging? I have not. I haven't because it's kind of impractical, but you could very easily with an air source. Just need bellows, hand cranked bellows. I did remember my boots today. I also had them yesterday. But yeah, the fly press is not very fun to look at for the Reddit stream. I fell off the top broadcasters. Might move to Maya soon. Hold you up in there. Very nice. That's a nice town. My tongs aren't meant for this. Like they're not big enough. Accidentally stabbed my fly press with the sword. Whoopsie. These tongs are not made for this. I just made knife tongs. Do I have to make sword tongs as well? What is this? There we go. Okay, let me see here. Some of you are here. Yeah, you are speculator. Goodbye, Valkyries. Oh, it was Death Raptors. when I'm reading chat, you see the news message and someone writes bye, but it's to someone else who already wrote bye. That's always good. See you later, Death Raptor. I throw my back out fast. Well, that's why I don't bend in my back. I bend at my hips. Important thing to be aware of. I don't have any. It's all this shit. It won't thaw. Like, what am I supposed to do? Look at this shit. God damn it. Ah, motherfucker. I need more water in the thing. There's too much, like, the weather is too cold. I'm not gonna pee on it. See you later, Neptune. Electric heater? I don't have an electric. I have a heat gun. I have a heat gun. That's what I have. That's the ceiling, yeah? Where the ladder goes. Viking please. Skal du have en kold bølleis? Jeg kan godt lige lave dig en kold bølleis. That's Viking speak. Well, it's not about breaking the ice, it's the temperature of the bottle internally that needs to go up. The fly press, I'm using a fullering die to put in a fuller into the sword. Swords have a fuller to lighten the blade while still maintaining rigidity. So I'm forging in that fuller. A lot of people will grind it in because it's easier, but I like forging, so I'm forging. Straightening that out. God damn it, these tongs. Good tactility on there. Alright, so where are we at with this? How does forging the fuller make it lighter when it doesn't remove any material? Because I already forged it down to a thickness that takes into account that there will be a fuller. If I wasn't adding a fuller, I would have forged it thicker. Right, so if I didn't plan on putting a fuller in, I would have left it 2 mil thicker approximately. But because I knew I was putting in a fuller, I forced it down to 5 mil instead of 7 mil. And then I put in the fuller afterwards to add the rigidity. Does that make sense? So instead of having a center ridge of 7 mil, I'll have a fuller and a full a thickness of 5 mil. You just gotta be really, really precise with this. The fuller adds rigidity in the same way that the I-beam adds rigidity. Right, so let's say like this. If I have a... This doesn't work. Let's say I have this flat bar right here. I'm actually going to take the R-Pen camera and add it back because I feel like I want to have you guys so you can see me when I'm talking. So let's say you have a bar, this flat bar like this. If you try and bend this way on the wide angle, that's going to be very difficult because it's very thick on that angle. But it's very thin on this angle, right? It'll bend easily here. But if I add flanges here and here on the sides, or on the center for that matter, if I make a cross section that goes perpendicular to the flatness that we have here, and I then try to bend it, that becomes increasingly difficult. That's how I-beams work. And it is also how fullers in swords work. It adds that rigidity at a lower weight. I do have a Twitch stream, yes. Speculator just posted. If you're watching from Reddit and you want to see the close-up, a closer up of this, you gotta go to Twitch. Thanks for teaching us how your sword stays rigid. Yeah, you're welcome. Please do not start cutting ridges into it. That's not how you. Just trying to keep an eye on how this is looking. Looking pretty good. I got a kink in it I want to get out. We gotta get that kink out. I'm not kink shaming, but we can't have kinks in our zone. No one likes a bent zone. Is the press agent? Nah, the press is probably. I'd say the press is probably from the 30s or something like that. 30s, 40s. It looks kind of like around Second World War-ish. Maybe a little bit earlier. Good morning, Gonzo. And fuck, he's making this. Oh, that name though. That's not ancient. I have an anvil that's almost 200 years old. That's ancient. Or close to ancient. No, this is not Ilya from Men at Arms. Problem is my tongs have a tendency to open up because they're too thin for this kind of work. They're not meant for this big stock. Come on, motherfucker. Move back so you're... I lost all my heat there. Let's retry that. I can't wait until I can start grabbing that with my hands again instead of the tongs. Just need to move it further down the puller. You had lunch? No, I have not. Hey, by the way, how does this work as the camera angle? If that would work better for the Reddit stream too. Right, so what is the camera here? Camera sitting. Sometimes it's just nice to change the angle a little bit. I could take the webcam and put on top. Then they don't see shit of what I'm talking about. Those who are wondering on Reddit about the camera angle, it's for the Twitch stream. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go to twitch.tv/Workshop. Got some of that straightened out. Still have some issues. Do you do commission work? Yes, I do. I charge 220 an hour. Danish, that is. You like that angle? Sure you do. This is just a dedicated hand cam now. That's what that is. Is that hot metal purpose? Yeah, purple. Yeah, it is. The width is I think 11 and a half or something like that centimeters. Very good, right? The problem is I don't know how that bend developed, and getting it out of there is tricky. My bandit club broke. I need a new one. I also usually say that it just looks small from this angle. If you don't want to do that down into the concrete, where's my wooden stuff? I don't know. Put it over the edge here. I got a piece of with a knot in it right there. I'm just making a new bandit club, alright? For spanking the steel when it's not behaving. What the fuck is this shit wood? It's probably beech or something like that. I just need it to be some. Okay, I can grab this. I cannot get this straight. Why don't it want to get straight? It's probably because I added the fuller, and the point of the fuller is to make it really difficult to bend. Just gonna have to be able to continue to do this until it's there. It is doing something. So I'm not completely off. Right, and while we wait for that, I can make this murder my hand a little bit less, because the wood is frozen, so it kind of bites off in chunks instead of making nice smooth cuts. Alright, that works. Don't get splinters from that? No, my hand is too callous for it. It's not really much there to get splinters from. Gotta make sure it's completely flat on the face of the angle. All right, we got that almost sorted out. I can. Funny thing is, when I make if I make a frozen pizza, I can't pull it out of the oven with my left hand, but I can with my right, like at 200 degrees. Because my right hand is just like much less heat sensitive than my left hand. Yeah, got it almost completely straight. But yeah, so I have two types of hand. I have a really soft kind of office hand, and then I have my actual work hand. Alright, there we go. That's straightened out on that angle as far as I can get it, I think. The rest we'll have to take with a grinder. That's the worst bandit club I've ever used. Frozen wood doesn't absorb shock at all. Hello, Spaghetti Wolf. dad is here, so we're gonna see if it fits in the car. Oh, it's mud. Well, there are a lot of Aussies watching my streams. We got Kate from Perth, and we got obviously we got Valkyrie, we've got Regnus, we've got Excessive was in here yesterday. My anvil is dirty. Let me just rub it with my leg. There we go. We have a handful more Aussies. Det kan du bare gøre. Jeg ved ikke, om jeg skal tage der med den anden. Hvad siger du? Det er jo nemt at lave ny. Ja, ja. Alright, let me catch up with the chat there. I'm working on a sword. My dad just came by here. I've been making a part for my car that we lost. And my dad is trying to get that sorted out. It's just gotta get it to fit proper. There's no legal drinking age in Denmark. There's only a legal purchase of alcohol. You can purchase alcohol at age, is it 16? You can buy mild alcohol like beer and stuff like that. And then at age 18 you can buy whatever. Something like that. The rules keep changing. I can't remember. When I was younger, you could buy beer and shit when you were like 15, 16, and everything. Yeah, it's the trunk, Munoz. You look cold as heck. No, I don't. It's just that you see this breath and then you think, oh, he must be cold. But I don't look cold. You know why I know? I know I don't look cold because I'm not cold. My English is pretty good, yeah. I speak a lot of English. Um, Denmark's drug policies in general are very progressive. Not really. Like, we're by no means very like pushing any kind of limits or like boundaries in that front. Like, people still get fined and jailed for weed. Yes, that's probably why. Because you buy like children's alcohol. If you buy like a bottle of vodka, they're not gonna card you. This is just one of those days where I don't get to swing a hammer really. Because once I've done the fuller, I need to work on the pommel and the crossguard, but I don't know how I want to forge those out. It's pretty basic stuff. But tequila isn't. That's also a young person's drink. Like, try buying a bottle of whiskey or something. See what they say. Sad hammer noise. I wonder if this piece here is when I thin that down, if that's gonna be wide enough. I think it will be. Just tricky to really hold on to with the gloves, with the tongs at. No, I think I'll be fine actually. So I think we're using this for a cross guard. It's not that only young people drink it, it's that it's what young people drink because it tastes delicious. If you buy stuff that tastes like shit, young people don't drink that. Yeah, unlike the alcohol you drink, that doesn't burn. Eh? Yeah, no, why would you buy stuff that tastes like shit? I'm all with you. Right? But there's a theory in that. Sleep well, Ragnus. Appreciate it, man. Hey, Olantil. You learning English in school? Yeah, learned in school. Getting to a point where I can soon start holding this without tongs. Or at least I think I actually am there soon, once it's cooled off at the handle. The hole in front of the anvil is hardy hole and principal hole. The squares for holding tools, the smaller one is for punching holes. Is that cold enough? Yeah, I can start grabbing that with my glove. I want to grab the right hand glove. I meget hvordan det her ender, så er det fandme klasse arbejde. Tak. Det skulle gerne blive rigtig godt. Det ser godt ud lige nu. Jeg tror ikke det går galt. Famous last words. Oh, the finger. What? There's something on the. Oh, that's water. Well, it's frozen water, but it's water. So much easier to do when you're holding it in your hand instead of tongs. You have so much better control. Oh yeah, that's so much easier. What are we making today? We're making a sword currently. Making a sword for Western historical European martial arts. So difficult to say that when people are talking in my ears. I clean my shop when I have like a decent temperature in here to be out here without the forge running. I don't clean up out here during the winter because it's so fucking cold. I can't stand being here if the forge isn't running. Workout for my left arm. Yeah, no, so I keep my shop fairly tidy for the most part. It gets fucked up whenever I have classes in here because I have to move everything around, and I haven't had a chance to clean up after the last class, which was in November because it's been fucking cold. So I need, like, when spring comes and the temperature stops being fucking -degrees, I'm gonna have to clean up the entire space. Get it nice and tidy again. Looking forward to that. Yeah, so we've got the fuller established, almost the full length of it. We probably still want to just get it a little bit deeper. We like it a little bit deep. But it's established. We got the line there, so it's easy to follow. Morning, tailfish. Working on the sword today. Look at this. I just put that in there earlier, and it's already freezing over. I can't talk. I need food soon. So because I don't have a proper mounting system for my dies, they can move a little bit, so I gotta readjust them once in a while if they get a little bit out of place. Ice is finally breaking off. Am I developing a twist there? No. Okay, looking good. I sent you some French onion soup I made last night, but it definitely will not be hot by the time it gets across the pond. Yeah, no, definitely won't. I appreciate it though, if you're talking to me. Well, I gotta get the ice off the other one here. But it's still too solid. I don't know if my dad got it sorted or if he gave up on my filing being too slow. Just look how much further this goes down on there after I heat treated, just because I burned off the rust. Well, that's nice and hard. I started this one Monday, so Thursday, I don't know what I was doing Thursday. I wasn't baking a sword on Thursday, that's a week ago. What was I doing then? Was I working on the tree, I think? I don't know, can't remember. Oh, the X? Yeah, no, that's a hammerhead. We're almost all the way at the tip, so we've got a full length. Is your dad able to fix your trunk? No idea. He had trouble getting it to fit because it was a little bit too wide in diameter. I filed it down some. Don't know if it was fine or not. I think he decided to make his own part. The frustration of having to wait on someone else getting something done. Gonna have to straighten that out. My left arm is starting to get tired of doing that pushing motion. The problem with it is that when you do that, it's a very abrupt stop you get on your arm because you break into material. So it's kind of like shoveling. It's not very good for your elbow and your shoulder. Are the dogs at home? They're running around somewhere. Alright, I wanted to just straighten this out some. Very, very light tabs. I have to straighten it out. Got a little bit of a bend in it, and that happens sometimes. I don't know why. I have to. That was. Oh, right, left hand. trick. Go. Put it. Make sure it's flat on the face of the handle. Just pull it backward. Shouldn't take any bend out of it if there is any. Have a little bit of a curl on it. Why am I using a piece of wood? It's so I don't indent the steel. You don't want to leave any marks in it, we just want to bend it. Have a bit more bend to get out at the outermost tip. Is this at your house? Do your neighbors complain? They don't complain. So right next to me over here, actually, the garden goes right up until to the building. There's a lovely retired elderly couple. They don't complain at all. And the neighbor next door, I asked her if the blacksmith noise was annoying. She was like, "What blacksmith noise?" So I think we're good. They don't. You can hear it if you're outside, obviously. But they don't. It's not that noisy outside of, or if they're inside or anything. Like you can't hear anything. It's not that bad. I have my anvil deadened really nicely. Always interesting when you get those bends in it, how you get those out. But I gotta make sure the fuller is straight and the edges don't matter too much. So I might deliberately make the sword a little bit bent in order to make sure the fuller is straight. How old is the building? It's from 1912. Got that straightened out nicer, but it's still got a weird thing going on here where the fuller is a little bit crooked, but I should be able to fix that up. I just want to make sure the blade is as straight as can be. Maybe a little bit overcompensating before we start correcting that fuller. It's looking good though. Got a good weight to it. Fuller is nice and straight on this side. Yes, very good. We shall continue with the fullering. Put my hammer back here. What kind of car do we have? Small sedan. I drive a station car. It's Opel Astra. Very good, reliable car. I can have all the dogs in there and all my blacksmithing shit if I need to. But it's a little bit old, and I drive it pretty hard. Like I've fetched a lot of machinery in that car, and a lot of steel and a lot of gas. we almost got it entirely marked out. Just the outermost tip, we gotta mark that out, and then we gotta define it and make sure that we get it like as deep as we like it. All of the two. It's because I used to have 3. Okay, I used to have 3 dogs. But then they fucked off, or at least one of them did. Forging a car. Yeah. The accent though, it's alright. It's smexy. It's been a while since I've heard that term. I haven't heard that term since I played Maple Story like 10 years ago. 15 years ago, Jesus. Smexy accent. The thing about a fuller is once you get to the tip, that's really where you want to make sure it's straight because it's the focal point of the sword. The first thing people check when they look at the sword is the tip, and if the fuller is off, it's the first thing you will see. Yeah, I used to play a lot of Maple Story. I don't know why. Like that was the MMO that dragged me in. It wasn't World of Warcraft or anything else. It was like or Eve or something like that. It was Maple Story. Yeah, that game ruined my fucking life. Good morning, Mighty Nim. Can I make a katana? No, I cannot. Because I don't want to. No katanas. Yeah, Tailfish, right? Like, I'm still kind of like, it wasn't that long ago I was making Let's Play videos on YouTube. Except that was in 2010. How did it ruin your life? Gaming addiction. I played that shit for like 16 hours a day. Interestingly enough, I woke up from it when, like I broke out of it once, my girlfriend at the time broke up with me. She played it as well. But then when she broke up with me and we used to play it together, I just kind of like, why the fuck am I playing this game? And I quit. Still gamed a lot and too much for way too many years, but well, I played a shit ton of Diablo 2 as well, but it was never to the extent. Like I have a summer where I didn't do anything. I literally just woke up for a period of like 3 months. I just woke up and I played Maple Story for 16 hours and I went to bed, and that was all I did. I didn't even take breaks to eat. I ate while I played. Like it was. Hvad sagde du dansker? No. What? But you said my accent was fake. What? I just have a Danish. You're not Danish. Did you Google Translate? How is this? How does this work? What Danish person finds a Danish accent sexy or smexy, if you will? Who does? That's weird. I used to play a lot of StarCraft 2 and League of Legends, like multiplayer and stuff. But I got into the online gaming, and because of the competitive nature of it, it wasn't like the soul-eating MMO kind of thing. It was mostly just doing competitive gaming that I liked. But it was yeah. What materials have you worked with before? Various different kinds of steel. Do you want me to mention specifics? Mild steel and scrap steel and brass. There we go. Poppy is nice. I like Poppy. I played Teemo to platinum rank, and then I quit. Like I mained Teemo. I played Teemo every single game, playing as either I would play AD carry, support, mid or top Teemo. Like I didn't care. I tried jungling, doesn't work as well. But I would just main Teemo because it meant that that was the only thing I played, and it didn't matter what I was against because I was so used to the counter picks and all that that I would come out ahead anyway. But once you got to platinum rank, people wouldn't play with you. If you joined a game and you picked Teemo, they would quit. You couldn't. It took so long to get a game going that it just wasn't worth it anymore. I haven't played a video game in half a year. And the last video game I did play was the Command & Conquer Remastered release, because that was my first kind of gaming love, if you will. So I had to play that. It's also the first time I ever played that game actually understanding English. Because playing Command & Conquer Red Alert as a kid, I didn't understand English, so I didn't even know that it was related to the Tiberian Sun universe. Until just recently when I finished up the campaign and I was like, what? This is a Tiberian Sun prequel? I never knew. It blew my mind. Because the cutscenes and shit, I didn't understand them as a kid, I just played the game. But Dungeon Keeper and Dungeon Keeper 2, those were good games as well. Wanna talk of nostalgia a little bit? Like my kind of like my most appreciated gaming story was actually coming home from school in like what, 5th grade or 4th grade or something like that. I hadn't started learning English yet, so it was probably like 3rd or 4th grade. Came home from school and there was a new icon on the desktop. We had like a shared family PC, and I was like, oh, this is a video game for sure, because it was the Dungeon Keeper 2 logo, that silver devil. And I just kind of opened it up because that's what you did. You kind of just figured it out intuitively how to play the games, even though you don't understand the language. Yeah, Valkyrie, I do the same thing when I game now. If I buy a game, it's like I play it for a while and then I'm kind of like, nah. Yeah, so I opened up the game and I managed to figure out the menus and get into the game of it. But here's the concept of being the evil guy was so novel at the time that when you got I got into the map, you got the imps running around. I was like, okay, those are my dudes, obviously. And then suddenly a goblin spawned and I freaked out and panicked and I slapped it to death. Because goblins are evil. And in video games, you're never the evil guy. And it wasn't like it took me a little while. It's like, wait, it's not attacking my imps. And it dawned on me that I was like, oh, I'm the evil dude. And then on we went. But yeah, no, my jam, like Dungeon Keeper 2, Diablo 2, Command & Conquer Red Alert. Those are like the three kind of, I think, core pillars of my like childhood gaming. Heroes of Might and Magic 2 as well. It's oftentimes the second games. Shit, I played a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Holy fuck. Like to this day, I still think that Heroes 2 is better than 3, simply because of the aesthetics of the game. Gotta straighten this out, clean it up a little bit, see what we have. I don't know if I think I need the fuller to be deeper, but I'm not quite sure. Oh, Oblivion. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, played a lot of Oblivion as well. Came out in 2006, right? Something like that. I got, so the thing that disillusioned me from gaming was actually, I played a lot of Oblivion, then the Skyrim hype started, got super hyped for Skyrim. Skyrim comes out, and it's just fucking like thin cold tea. Like, it's just a reskin of Oblivion with less charm and more repetitive gameplay, and I'm just kind of like, why? And since then I just haven't really cared a lot about video games. Still gamed a lot for a while. I played RimWorld and shit like that. But I haven't gotten hyped for a game since. The only game I'm planning on looking into right now is Darktide when that comes out, and that's because it's Vermintide, which I really enjoyed. But in Warhammer 40k, which I enjoy more than Warhammer Fantasy, so it's just like the perfect combo. But I don't expect it to be good. Oh, I'm not doing this. I'm actually having to straighten this. That's what I wanted. I wanted to clean it up. That's what I said. a nice straight puller here on one side, and on the other side as well. Very nice, very nice. Just wanted to straighten that out. We're gonna go down to the middle here and give that some time. Just kind of moving my fingers over here. I want to feel like the tactile feel, being able to be like, okay, where's the puller? What's the depth of it? It's really what we need. So yeah, it's a little bit thinner up here. Now it's starting to get hot, so it gets difficult for me to actually grab that. So yeah, we're just gonna clean up the center area a little bit. Should be good. Horse armor TLC. Yeah. I bought it, I pre-ordered it when it came out. Ja, det ved jeg godt. Men jeg tror lidt om, hvis det er the heat radiation from the sword was not to start burning over some stuff here. Holding the top of this to the base of the whoopsie. Shit happens. Hello, Bramwell. Let me see here, what is chat saying?
faktisk sætte den anden fast. Jeg tror, det er den anden, den du skal
Men der er bedre at få fat i, når den er med sæt på den.
Ja, det er. Nej, det er vingelret. Sådan der. Det er fint.
Den er da ikke helt.
Nej, men det er bedre.
Alright, let me see what chat says. Was that the car part? Yeah. So apparently it didn't fit. The one I did needed to be filed down a little bit, and instead of having me file it down proper, he went all the way back home, made one himself, came back, and then it still didn't fit and had me readjust it. It's just kind of like, it's so typical. But it's just a little lever thing. I forged one out with this something I had here, and it's like it needed to be filed down a little bit. It's weird how the puller manages to make it crooked. I don't know how it does that. I'm gonna put on a glove not because it's hot, but because it's shock absorption. That one should fit. It was 2 mil short, so he needed it bent out again and then rebent. Hvor er du fra? Har du lavet ringbåndjer før? Hobro. Og ja, jeg har lavet ringbåndjer i 4. klasse. How much have you been forging for, brother? Or how long, rather? 2.5 years have I been forging for? I don't need the hammer here. I need my club. And it's bending that way. Much better. Work that down some more. Are you using the wood club to do less damage to the sword? Yep, it's so that when you use wood, the sword, the metal doesn't get dented. So you don't ruin the details you put into it or the shape you put into it, but it still bends the steel. If I take a hammer and smack it, it's gonna deform it. No, it really does not, especially not when we're doing, like if you're doing like if you write like you speak, it can't figure it out. No tank top, no, it's too fucking cold today. Super cold. Yeah, the sword is doing nicely. I started it on Monday, and 3 days of forging, and we got almost a blade done. Fuller is starting to look good. The brush removes a little bit of force scale. When you heat up the steel, it reacts with the oxygen in the atmosphere rapidly and oxidizes. Creates a layer of scale. Brush those away so you can get a clearer look at what you've got to work with. So the forge scale, I know a lot of people say that sawdust is man glitter. It's fucking not. This is man glitter. This is forge scale. It's this powdery little thing, and it is actually kind of glittery. Dirty as fuck. And it's everywhere, wherever you're forging. You can kind of like dust, you can gather it like by the bucket. So got the trunk working again, seems. Gotta get that all straightened out, sorted out. Do you quench the sword in oil or water? It depends on the steel, but this is probably an oil quenching steel. I have to do some testing first. How many days does it usually take to forge a sword? I have no idea. This is my first sword that I'm forging. But I've spent something like 10 hours on it now, forging out the blade, just kind of taking it slow and steady. And we're forging everything out, we're not grinding anything to shape, so you can do that. Like forging out a blade like this, obviously you can do it in a day if you spend enough hours on it. 10 hours. So we got it working. Did you say man glitter? I did say man glitter. When do you, the powder flux, you don't, because that has nothing to do with quenching. That's to do with forge welding. You don't have to forge weld a sword. So, no problem. I'll probably still hold this with gloves, really. let me see if that works. Oh, a little bit. Getting this entire thing straightened out is gonna be a pain in the ass. Got some work to do down here. I probably just want to grab it on the other side. I know it's gonna be a little bit hot over here. There we go. I am getting hungry as well, so I'm gonna need my lunch. So I'm gonna what are we gonna do? We wanna continue foraging. I think I wanna let this cool down so we can get a better look at it. So it's probably fine to take a proper lunch break. Yeah. So I'm just gonna do a little bit here. Just one last heat, and then we're gonna leave the forge running because I need the heat. But then we're gonna get the lunchies done. That's not at all where I wanted that heated up. It'll do. Still got a bit of a curve to it, but it helped out. It's really nice how nimble this got. Compared to what it was before. Sort of steel is it? It is arrow's tooth or tine agricultural steel. This is what we started with. Straightened that out, forged it into a sword. It's some sort of spring steel or 1080 or something. It depends on who you ask. I'm gonna have to do quenching tests and temper tests to see what I need to do to get a proper temper on it. It's looking pretty damn good. Well, I'm sure chat is looking good as well. Yeah, it's scrap steel. So it's an unknown alloy, which is why I gotta do tests. If I really wanna straighten this out, I should put it like this. That'll allow me to put it down flat and then do stuff like that. It's pretty goddamn close to where it needs to be. Best thing I can really do is do this. That really tells me, like up against the light, gives me a really good look at what I need to do. It's pretty fucking close. It's got a little bit of a wobble in it. I'll have to take that out with the hammer, I think. Looking at the footer is good. Maybe I have a little bit of kink to one side. Let me just check the other side here. It's very subtle. Near the tip too. I just thought I started with a bar. Well, it is a bar, I just had to straighten it out. I started with a 10 by 30 mil bar. How do you do quenching? Quenching tests. You quench in water, you quench in oil, you do different things, change the temperatures and stuff like that and see what works best. It's mostly the tempering and not so much the quenching that I need to test out, because I know this is an oil hardening steel. I've done that test before, I think. It's the temper that needs to be tested. I need to know if I need to temper it for 2 hours, or if I can get away with like a quick temper. What kind of do I want to blue back it down the center? What do I want to do? And that requires some tests to see how do I get the most flex and spring in it while it's still keeping its shape. Okay, we got the fuller straightened out. Very good. Just gonna clean it up best as I can. So now I can really see the light reflecting in it. Fuck, that is good. Gonna let that cool off so we can take a much more proper look at it. Just gonna let that sit. I don't want to let that sit here. Gonna let the forge burn. I'm gonna eat my lunch. Just a quick little lunch here. I dropped this out of the fridge earlier, so it's not as full as it should be. I'm very sad. Hvor meget sne har vi fået i går? Det er ikke rigtigt noget. Meget lidt. Oh, drop chicken. God damn it. Hello, just a random name. Yeah, made a lot of axe heads. It's one of the few things I've done a lot of. I have ass cam right now. Turn this up there. I'll be making more axes at the museum next year, or this year rather. Nope. Haven't cooked anything in the forge really. It's breakfast time for you? Yeah, it's 3:30 for me, PM. much thermocycling do you do? I do 3 normalizing cycles, generally speaking, before I quench. I might do more on this thing, because it's a bigger piece of work. How long does that take? However long it needs to take. Eating breakfast is really important. Not because breakfast is important, because you need to get your system going. Like you need to get your entire like food intake process going. Otherwise, your body is just kind of like not really getting started. Like it's enough to just drink a glass of water. That'll get your system going. If you drink a glass of water, you'll be hungry like half an hour later. Because I dropped that food and it wasn't as full as it should be, I brought a protein bar for extra goodness. Extra goodness. These are actually pretty good. This is an Australian protein bar that Kate sent me. For those who don't know, I have a spare mom in Australia. She sends me a care package with a lot of good stuff in it. No, no, it's not like it's not like a car you need to start it. But if you're actually eating shit, your body reacts to that as opposed to if you're not eating shit. Oh, she smells the chicken. It's kind of like how you don't have to pour water in your face in order to wake up. But if you pour water in your face, you're gonna wake up a little bit better than if you don't, right? I got gains. It's just a shame they're all located on my right arm. It's a very hard protein bar, but I like it. One of the worst things a protein bar can be is soft and mushy. Soft and mushy protein bar is horrible. This is actually really good. Yeah, just lunch break. Yeah, right arm is a lot stronger than left. I ate pasta salad and now I'm eating a protein bar for lunch. They do, Road Warrior. They do skip over a bunch of stuff. You know any blacksmith jokes? Yeah, I know some. I try to avoid them because the chat goes crazy with jokes if we start that. Yeah, Dad left. God damn, this is hard. That's what she said. I'm gonna break a tooth on this. It's not frozen. I didn't leave it here overnight. I brought it out in my jacket pocket. She sniffed me? How dare she? She wanted to know if I had food. Dog, you're in the way. Up. Hello, friend. Ever use that canister Damascus? Nope. I don't do pattern welded stuff. Is that hot? A little bit hot. Let's see, is it hot here? Where is it hot? Can I touch it everywhere? Oh, it gets hot there. Alright. Alright, that's doable. So we got a little bit of a kick near the tip, but we gotta shake that up because it's a little bit too pointy for what regulation says. So we gotta grind that or file that to shape regardless. But the fuller just needs to be straight. That's the most important part. And it is for a forged fuller. First time forging a fuller this long too. Pretty goddamn happy with that. And the die setup isn't even very good, so that is actually really nicely done. I like that. I hope you guys can kind of see what it is we're working with here in the shimmer of the light. And this sword isn't polished or anything. It's just rough forged. And if I put it here, the main camera should be able to kind of see it. Can I get the light shimmering on that? Looking very good. One thing I'm worried about is cracks forming from being too oxidized, but it looks like I've gotten rid of that. I've escaped that. What I need to do here as it cools off, I need to feel what the fuller is like. There's a crack down there, straight down the middle on both sides. God damn it. Shit, we fucked up, guys. Gotta start over. So I'm just feeling for that, like for the fuller to be like, okay, what is the thickness like? It's a little bit too hot for me to hold on to it repeatedly, or continuously. This is looking really good. Like up here it's looking nicely. Got a little bit here maybe, but it's pretty good. We've got very good, nice tactile. Here, a little bit shallow there, not as defined. Then it comes back. And then it's maybe like all the way down here it needs to be defined a little bit more because the steel is thicker to begin with. But it is nicely defined all the way up. It's just like a little bit here in the center we maybe want to, but it is very nice. It's maybe 5 mil at the widest and 2 mil at the edge and 3 mil at the fuller. I'm gonna burn my left hand. My left hand is much more heat sensitive. Don't mind me, I'm just stroking my sword. I'm pretty happy with this. Like overall as it is right now. Rough forged fuller, forged in fuller, that's really nice. And it's not like it's not crooked, it's not uneven. It's just there. And we gotta it being like it's not heat treat or anything, we got a nice flex on it. So with a heat treat that should be really, really nice. Right? This is what you want a sword to be. You want to have it give it that flex there. Once we heat treat, it'll lose some of the flex. So it won't be nearly as flexible, I don't think. That's alright. We have wobble along the edge, and that's really what we have to deal with. We have to take care of that. And we have to do that with a hand hammer. Just kind of get that knocked into alignment without messing too much up. We don't have to worry about getting the taper or the bevel all the way to a point because it can't be sharp. It needs to be 2 mil at the minimum. Pull out a piece before you forge it to compare. What do you talk about? Is it a big project, man? A little bit. Did your dad get the part? Yeah, he did. I like this. Weight-wise, I don't really know where it's at, but... So this is a 1 kilo hammer. And if this is 1 kilo, it is very close. And I can't actually figure out which one is heavier. I think this is heavier. Probably easier to actually do left-handed because my left arm is weaker, so it's more prone to actually feel the difference. But it's just about 1 kilo. Maybe a little bit less. If I try with an 800 gram. Right, so this is an 800 gram hammer. Yeah, the sword is definitely heavier than 800 gram. For sure. We have a 1.2 hammer here, 1.2 kilo. And it's definitely lighter than 1.2. But I'd say it's closer to 1.2 than it is 800. I just really want to put a handle on it so I can get a pommel and balance on it so I can actually try and see if I got a good weight on it. Because right now the balance is here, and obviously we need a guard and a cross guard and a pommel. That should pull the balance down here. It should sit like 10 centimeters, 5 centimeters, something along the lines of right here should where the balance should be. For those who don't know, if you want to find the balance on anything, just put your fingers out to the sides and put them into the center. They will always align right where the balance is, because the friction will adjust as you pull your fingers. You see that? You just pull them tighter and tighter, closer and closer, until they meet up, and that's the balance point of the sword. And you can do it quickly as well if it's something that's not too heavy, and just kind of quickly get an idea of where's the balance on this thing. So there's no excuse to ever make an unbalanced sword or anything like that, because it's so quick to figure out. I really want to make sure I don't get it. I have a sense that there's a little bit of a twist in it, but I can't see any. Maybe if I look down like this. Okay, so the bottom there kicks a little to the side, and the tang kicks to this side, and then it kicks to that side. And that, yeah, okay, so that gives us a little bit. essentially what I want to do now is I want to go over it and get everything straightened up and all that jazz, and then it's normalizing cycles, I guess. Unless I want to forge, I probably want to forge down the tang some more. It's a little bit too thick. I gotta get a hammer swing just for a little bit. There we go, we got some ice broken off. This is the bunch, like lumps of ice that my gas canisters collect. Whoops. Do you do peening or blasting for finish? That makes no sense. Like, peening is the process of mushrooming over something. And blasting, I'm assuming you're referring to sandblasting. So, like, they're two different things, like, not related. Do you have a power hammer? I do have a mechanical hammer, but it's not up and running. I'm renovating it. Okay, we got this piece out. It kicks to the side, right? We also have to forge this out a little bit thinner. Gotta take a step back to get a proper hammer swing going. I don't want to hit the blade here, only the tang. We're just thinning it out. And right here specifically, we don't want to hit it too cold. Because hitting it too cold might actually start cracks and stuff like that. Don't want to do that. No risk of that, please. Just waiting here, nice and calmly, for the heat to come back. Fucking cold now. I haven't been swinging a hammer for a little bit. Gets cold fast. Gonna straighten this out a little bit as it's crooked. Leave it around. Careful. I haven't looked it up really, but I'm just gonna go with something that I think makes sense. I'm gonna leave it thicker than the bare minimum, just so I can always file it down then, grind it down. Looks cold? Well, it is cold. As long as you're working, it's not that cold, but I just ate lunch. And then you get time to cool off while you eat. Oh, got interesting messages popping up. Gonna check that later. How far are you through this project? Well, I need to. I need to do the last little bit of cleanup. Make sure everything is straight, in line, and all that. Then I need to do heat normalizing cycles, which is just heating up the salt and letting it cool off. Gotta do that at least 3 times, maybe more. Then I gotta do the quench, and I gotta do the tempering. And once that's done, the salt is pretty much finished. I'll have to do the shaping of the edge. Gotta make sure that's nice and rounded, the right thickness. And then it's the handle. I gotta make the pommel. I made a pommel and the cross guard, and that's gonna take a while. And I'm not quite sure how I want to get that done. No, not Tinder. Interesting messages. Tinder is fucking dead currently. Has been for a while. My hammer here is actually mushrooming over. I need to redress that. Do you know what kind of handle material you use? Wood. Probably a piece of oak. I also have some mahogany if I want to make it nice. But that's not very Viking to use mahogany. No, I've made a cross guard before. I just never mounted one. Kind of wanna. Okay, this might be. I just kind of get a sharper edge on it right here, if I can. This is kind of silly looking, but just be happy the sword isn't sharp. Does that work? It doesn't work. Not really. I could go in here, but I really want to be careful with what I end up here with. It's too cold too. That wasn't a success. I'm losing gas pressure. Never mounted a crossguard. I have forged one, but never mounted one. How to make it bright and shiny? You polish it. Oak makes sense. Yeah, I think it's what you've used historically. It's some other as well. I can't remember what it's called in English. Yeah, no, nothing slips past me. But I'm really happy with how clean this is looking, even though I've not straightened it out on all fronts, only some. I think the thickness on this is fine. Maybe a little bit thinner up here. Just gonna make, yeah, it's a little bit too thick up there. And then it's just the width I need to deal with. Doing some very deliberate stuff right now. Either my colors are off, you're almost cold hitting. The colors are off because it's a webcam. But I'm also when I'm going at the tip of the tang is pretty cold. I don't mind that because we're not forging, we're just planishing. I don't test it on a tree. It's not sharp, no point in testing it on a tree. I can test it on a tree, I know how it. I want to know how it handles balance-wise and stuff in actual combat. Like you can't say that you've made a sword until you've made a sword that's actually been used in combat. Until then, all I've made is something that looks like a sword. Tricky shaping this up. Well, not tricky rather, but it's kind of you gotta do it in very, very small increments. Will it get named after it's been in battle? Probably should name it. But what name it should have, I don't know. I should probably... The question is, do the wielder or the blacksmith name the sword? I wanna name the sword. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna name the sword. Can't make a sword and not name it. Gotta look up. Gotta come up with a good sword name. I could let chat vote on it. Come up with suggestions and vote on it. It's not a horrible idea, it's just a bad one. The user? No, fuck the user. I wanna name the sword. Fuck off. I made it, I wanna name it. I'm gonna be a petulant little child about that. It's like, Then the user is gonna be like, this is the sword of death, deliverer of freedom, destroyer of pestilence. And I'm like, no. His name is Kurt. I named the sword Kurt. It's like, fuck off, blacksmith. Kurt in Danish. I'm gonna name the sword Kurt. Name the sword petulant child. How far down do I want the... I have the puller stopping right here. I wonder if I wanna... I really kind of want to clean up the transition there a little bit. That happens at the press. If I can. Welcome back, Syntherius. The edge between the blade and the tang worries me. What edge? No point in being worried about that. Yes, fucking DC Comics. Okay, that's nigh on impossible to do, but you just kind of want to escape. That's not gonna happen. I have to make a monkey tool or something for that. Or get a planner in there and a striker. I don't have a flatter and I don't have a striker, so that's gonna be fun. I feel like the tang might be a little bit off center. It would be a good idea to measure that instead of eyeball. Everything is eyeballed thus far, pretty much. So 1.5 centimeters. Stop burning my thing. Yeah. The tang is a couple of mil to the left here. How the fuck do I sort that out? God damn it, vi spiser bog. God damn it. So I gotta get that so it's over the edge. Whack that down. It would be nicer to have a flatter to do that because I want to shear that downward. The forge is running cold because we're running low on pressure. Very deliberate strikes here to try and push that tang downward. Because right now it's sitting too far to one side. Oh yeah, yeah, I do leather work. My own, I made this. Yep. All me. Yeah, you can, if you want a leather apron, you can custom order one. And I as opposed to other people who sell blacksmith aprons, I actually make them out of the right fucking material. It pisses me off to no end. Essential Craftsman sells blacksmith aprons out of aniline coated leather. They're shit. You don't make blacksmith aprons out of aniline leather. It's plastic coated. You don't want plastic in your workshop. Oil tan every way, all day, right? Whoever, they're pretty well known in the blacksmithing community. Americans, the ones who made Black Bear Forge's apron. They also use aniline coated leather. It's like, don't fucking use aniline leather, you cheap fucking... Because what happens with aniline coated leather is that it heats up and then the plastic melts and the leather shrinks. And you can actually see it on Black Bear Forge's videos that the leather has shrunk, and that shouldn't happen. If you're using oil tan, what happens is that it won't shrink until you burn it, and it needs to get up to real high temperature before you burn it and char like this. But if it's aniline, as soon as you get any heat on there, it'll start to shrink and it'll look shit and it's not good protective and it's plastic and you don't want plastic in your fucking blacksmith shop. Use proper leather, which is oil tan. Blacksmith's apron should always be oil tan. God, motherfucking amateurs. Such a basic fucking concept. pisses me off. Then they over-engineer it with big buckles and shit like that to make it fancy. It just screams amateur. Like, the Essential Craftsman aprons have, they use fucking 7 rivets to, like for instance, this piece, like the strap right here, has 7 fucking rivets on it to hold it on because they use hollow cap rivets. Hollow cap rivets are not structural rivets. They are more often than, they're for non-structural things, they're for decorative purposes. If you want structural rivets, you go for with a solid brass rivet, which is what this is. A single brass rivet will outperform and outlast 7 hollow cap rivets. And I was like, if you have to use 7 fucking rivets, maybe that's an indicator that you're using the wrong fucking rivets. You absolute fucking amateur. Fucking hell. Hollow cap rivets are rivets that are made out of the thinnest fucking sheet brass alloy you can find, and you can pull them apart with your hands if you want to. They're so weak, and people use them, and I fucking hate it for structural things. If you want something structural, solid brass or solid copper. Goddamn amateurs. Are you going to add a fuller? Yeah, I already had a fuller, yeah. Do you make your own quillons? I will be making my own crossguard, yeah. For this is Viking sword, so no quillons, really just a guard. God damn. Obviously, you can make an apron out of other leather. It's just not gonna be a good blacksmith apron, or as good of a blacksmith apron. The reason why you use oil tan is because oil tan is specifically designed for a couple of things. One, it's pliable. Oil tan is soft and nice. Like this is a 2mm oil tan, and it is pretty nice and soft. If you take veg tan and make it 2mm, it has to be specially tanned to make it so soft. The other reason why you use oil tan is because oil tan is really resistant to wear and tear, and it doesn't soak in shit because it's already covered in oil. Natural veg tan leather it scuffs really easily. Chrome tan scuffs not so easily, but it's not a good leather because it's so rigid. Usually, fucking aniline leather that's covered in plastic. Thank you, Aroba. Fucking Jesus Christ. Fucking hollow cap rivets. Out the tang a little bit more, so now it's getting very long. You don't mind that it's a little bit long though. I'm gonna take a measurements again. Okay, so that's like 14mm, and this is what 14mm or 15. So this is now close enough that I don't mind. I need to buy a steel measuring stick, by the way. But one of these costs like $1, and the steel one costs like 15. Oh, got a little bit close there. They use hollow cap rivets because they don't know any better. Well, yes, it's faster and cheaper too. It's much faster, but it's also simpler. It requires less skill to set a hollow cap rivet than it does to set a copper rivet. And considering that the guy who makes the Essential Craftsman aprons can't fucking set a hollow cap rivet right, because I've seen the close-up photos, it looks like shit. And it's weird because he's a professional leather worker. He's a saddler. He does. But it's just a rush job. It's just a matter, and he charges 400 fucking bucks or something, like 450 bucks for the fucking hell. there are some rules that you follow when you make aprons. 1, oil tan leather. 2, solid copper rivets. 3, stitching for pockets should be linen thread, not synthetic, because what happens with synthetic, when it gets close to heat, it melts. Linen doesn't. I've actually had hot stuff on this, and it doesn't really burn or break, especially when it's waxed thread. How hard would it be to make Aragon's sword? Hard enough. Pisses me off. God damn it. Probably gonna clean this up a little bit with a file at some point before I quench. We got the tang down to a nice, it's pretty nimble looking now compared to what it was before. We gotta cut off the excess, obviously. The amount of excess we have is pretty significant. We want it to be something like, 15 centimeters is more than enough. We need 9 or something for the hand. How wide is my hand? 9 for the handle. Then of course we need a little bit for the, 15 should be good. That means we have 2.5 for the pommel, and maybe 15 is actually a little bit short. We don't want to take off too much. When I cut off about 5 centimeters, I know what I'm cutting off. Gonna cut off there. Will leave us more than enough. Right. Whoopsie doodle. Been here 3.5 hours and could watch another 7, but I need to sleep. Stupid time zone. Good night all. Good night Valkyrie and Fenrir. Have a nice sleep. I'll be done with this stream soon too. And then I can look forward to a nice weekend. I don't know how long it'll take before I kind of call it quits, but we're gonna run out of gas at some point. I'm gonna cut this. First time seeing me cutting this with a with this angle here. Probably. Yeah, it's running very low on gas. I don't think I can up it anymore. What? Oh yeah, it's angry. So just gonna heat it up straight. I'm just kind of doing very, very fiddly work, and that's just because I'm forging this to finish. I want to get it as close as I can without having to file it or grind it too much. So we're doing as much as we can with the hammer. And that's just taking some very, very precise. Goodbye, Bramble. Oh, Bramble White, yeah. Gonna hot rasp this. Just to clean up the end of it a little bit. Want to get a nice temp on that so it's easier to hot rasp. Got this nice and hot, that makes it malleable. And more easily file it, and even rasp it with a wood rasp like this. Now it's too cold, we're gonna heat it up a little bit more. Pretty nice clean end we got there. Now we just want to make sure it's all nice and straight. And then we got that. Then I'm pretty much where I want to be with the tang for all of this, forging wise at least. Just got a few pieces of glass lying here on the floor I'd like to get rid of so the dogs don't step on them. If you want to straighten something out, you just start at the roots and you move all the way down the length of it, and that'll straighten it out. Do that on all four sides and you're good to go. I want to make sure I don't have any twist in it. I need a little bit more. Looking pretty happy. I maybe want to thin down the tang a little bit at the root of it because it's pretty wide there. It's something like maybe 14 mil wide, 12. Okay, it's a little bit off still. It's really difficult to get this straight when it's this long. Kicks to the side, that needs to be taken care of. And that'll probably be the last I do for this time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, we got Bina popping in. Hello, Bina. Hi. Hvad laver du? What's up, Ben? Find a piece of ice. bandit stick. My bandit club. Did you guys see that? You going to... What the... I have a sword. I know it's hot, but I have a sword. Come back here, dog. It's mine. No, it's mine. You can't have it. You can't have it. It's mine. It's mine. It's my stick. It's my stick. It's my stick. Oh, this. I have a video on YouTube where I'm tearing down a set of stairs in here, and I'm like pulling out the broken down stairs, and she runs in and grabs a step, and runs off with it. It's like she comes in here and grabs stuff all the time. She's stolen a hammer from me too, and an axe. You're a little thieving little hobbitses. That's what you are. I think I might. You can have it. Okay, you can have it. Here, take it. Take it. Tensa. Tensa. Come on, Tensa. Take it, dear God. She just bumped into everything on her way out and dropped it. God damn it. You have a YouTube? Yes, I do. She's a husky fox terrier mix. The fuck is this? This is documentary shit. She stole, I was in the dog park last weekend and she stole a big ass branch from a bunch of kids. It's just like, yeah, good job, dog. What the fuck? No, stop. It didn't connect to the... Connect to my Spotify on the PC, please. That's what you usually do when I open you up on my phone. Come on, you can do this. Simple shit, you know how it works. Come on, it's just not working. Come on, open. Do the thing. Do the thing. Oh no, that's my flashlight. Damn it, Spotify, you piece of shit. It's always so bad. There we go. No, what? So it... Okay, so it connects to the same thing that's going on the PC, but then when I skip a track here, it disconnects and doesn't do the thing. Do the fucking thing. For fuck's sake. Spotify has always been shit, by the way. Always. Fucking hate it. But no one else provides the same exact service. Okay, so now I'm connected to the Super Magic Link player, which is what I did. So now it's listening to that thing. So I'm gonna change the track, and then it jumps off of the fucking session and doesn't change the track. Piece of shit. So I have to go all the way over here I have to go here and I've got to click on this and be like, fuck off, you piece of shit. Oh, this isn't even working now. Okay, fuck this. Done with this piece of shit music. Fuck off. I shut it down and it's still playing. Now shut off. God, fucking piece of shit. Fucking hell. Fucking fuck. God damn it. Okay, we still got a little bit of thickness that I wanted to take care of with this. Nah, it's probably good to leave a little bit of thickness, but I think the fuller is a little bit up far, but I don't know if it is. Like this transition area here, I don't know how exactly I want it to look. But I'm thinking it's better to come in with a fresh set of eyes. This is hot, right? A little bit hot. But we took off a little bit more weight, thinning down the tang there, which is nice. It's still, the tang is still off. Only on, so it's very little though. Very little. The fuller is very good. I don't know if I want to make it, like, give it a bit more of fuller. Or if this is all right. We gotta clean up the edge and get that straight because we got that wobble on there from doing the thinning down the bevel. That's something we gotta do. I really would have liked to get that all cleaned up. It was gonna take a long time moving all the way down on both sides, making sure everything is straight. So that's something I'd probably rather do on Monday. Looking very much forward to finishing up the forging on this and then not making a handle for it because I don't want to bother. Still very hot. That is a sword blade, roughly forged out. I think it looks very, very nice. I think letting it shine here a little bit, shimmer on the lights here, very good. Very nice, very nice. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna let the forge burn to get a little bit of heat in here while I kind of end this all. I'll turn off this. Grab the wand and get that inside so it doesn't sit out here and rust. out, get the hat off. Got 2 minutes left on the Reddit stream, so that's a good timing. Just about done. There we go, running low on gas there. I have a photo of this just real quick as a work in progress. If I can. Get it to focus. Oh, the sound of that. Oh, that was interesting.
Aim on us. Said. Bye. Take care. Love and Rusbispo.
Alright, where did my... Alright, there we go.
Said. Bye y'all.
Yeah, thanks for watching everyone. I will be back on Monday. If you want to get notified when I go live on Monday, follow the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/MartiloWorkshop. And I will do more blacksmithy stuff. So until then, have a nice end of the week and do good stuff.